College of Arts and Commerce. This is SST Edupedia. Myself Assistant KUMKUM GURBANI. Today I will teach you the Psychology at Work, that is from TY BCom semester 5, and my topic is organizational behavior. So as of now we are working at some of the organizations. So we must know about how to work there, how to behave there. Okay, so that is why now we will start with the organizational behavior. So the study of organizations and of the collection of people within them together comprises the field of organization behavior. So organizational behavior is also known as OB. So it is the study of human behavior in the organizational settings and the interference between human behavior and the organization itself. So how we work with other peoples in the organization, that this means a lot and it affects us also. So it is necessary to behave nicely. So first we must learn that how to behave in an organization, because our behavior only tells us about how we are. Okay, so human behavior in the organized settings are very important, and it is an interference between the human behavior and the organization. So next is, what is organizational behavior? We are talking aloud about the organization behavior, but what it is? It is a field of study that investigates the impact that individual, groups and structure have on behavior within organizations for the purpose of applying such knowledge towards improving an organizational effectiveness. So when we are working in a group, everyone have their own views. Okay, so that is why there is a proper structure of the group, and we have to learn how to work in a group, and we also apply some of our knowledge, some of our ability and skills, and that makes an organizational goals to work on very effectively and smoothly. So what is organizational behavior? It is an organization's social system. So organization is a combination of humanity and technology. So when we are working in an organization, everything is now being digitalized. So OB is the study and application of knowledge about how people act within the organization. It is a human tool for human benefit. So when we talk to someone like politely, so they get happy and they replied us also in the same way. But when we give someone orders like you do this and you do that, so it won't work in any organization, because they will not listen to us. So it is necessary to behave in an organization and work within the organization with your ability and skills, but our human behavior is also very necessary for working in an organization. Next, a complex. It is a complex set of forces affects the nature of organizations today. It can be classified in 4 areas: people, structure, technology, environment. When we work in an organization, we have 4 areas to focus on, that is people, structure, technology and environment, and our behavior also changes according to these aspects. Why? Because first is people. So when we have a good people around us, so we feel very comfortable and we feel very happy to work with them. Second is structure. If the organization have a proper structure, that everything goes smoothly, the functioning of an organization is very smooth and the structure is very proper, like structure from top level to lower level, everything is synced, so we enjoy working in an organization. Third is technology. Now as it is, everything is digitalized, so technology is very important in an organization. Why? Because we just consume our time doing the paperwork, so it is very time consuming, but as of now we are using technology, it saves our time. Next is environment. So where we are working, the environment must be very nice, so we feel very nice in working that environment. There must be a positive vibes. Okay, so when people join the organization to accomplish the goals and objectives. Some kind of structure is required. So when we are joining to the organization, we feel that to join in a reputed organization. But what is a reputed organization? That means they have a proper structure and they have a goals and objectives which could be possible to achieve. And some kind of structure is also very necessary to deal with an organization peoples. So they use machinery, gadgets and technology to achieve the organizational goals. So at the same time they are influenced by the external environment. So next is organizations are defined. Now how it is defined? It is defined as a social arrangement. In social arrangement, it comes like environment, people, structure, all the areas which is constructed by people and who can also change them. Like Buchanan and Yuchinzinski, organizations are a system of cooperative activities and their coordination requires something intangible and personal, that is largely a matter of personal relationships. So Bernard O.B. is concerned with the study of structure, functioning and performance of organizations and the behavior of groups and individuals within them. So when we are working in an organization, our human behavior performs a lot. Like when we perform good, so we feel good and that is why we can achieve our goals and objectives of an organization. Next, the nature. What is the nature of an organizational behavior? The nature of the organizational behavior, environment, human behavior in organizational settings. So the individual organization, the organization environment interface. Next is our nature of OB, that is an organizational behavior. It is also field of study and not a discipline or interdisciplinary approach. It is an applied science, normative and value-centered, humanistic and optimistic oriented towards organizational objectives, and it is also a total system approach. Now when it was evaluated, so evolution of OB is Robert Owen, that is 1800, young factory owner. So he was first to emphasize the human needs of employees and refused to employ children, taught workers to improve working conditions. Father of personal management, he is an Andrew. The philosophy of manufacturers, that is 1835, and the value of human factor in manufacturing provided welfare facilities to workers. So J.N. Tata in 1886 in that instituted a pension fund and 1895 began to pay accident compensation. So in this way the organizational behavior was evaluated and many of them came forward to organize such behavior in an organization. Also with the William Gilbert, that is 1914, the Psychology of Management, F.W. Taylor, 1916, father of scientific management, time and motion study, piece rate method. Then Henry Fayol was also involved in this. He also evaluated the organization behavior in 1960, administrative management, principle of governing behavior, management quality, Elton Mayo, 1920 and 1930s, and human behavior at Harvard University, Hawthorne's experiments, Plant, Abraham H. Maslow, 1954, and need of the hierarchy motivation models, Douglas McGregor, 1960, theory X and Y. He imposed this theory to identify the managerial goals and managerial style. Henry Mintzberg, that in 1960, managerial roles. He also evaluated the roles, that is like interpersonal role, informational and decision making. Next is our Peter Drucker, 1909 to 2005. He was a father of modern management and importance of change, how to bring best out of the people, innovation, internship. So why we do an internship? To learn how to behave in an organization and how to perform in organization, because the organizational behavior depends upon how we are working with as an individual and as in a groups. So there are three categories, that is we are working as an individual, we are working in a group, and then we are working in an organization. So first is major contributing disciplines. So it is a field of organization behavior, that is psychology. When we are thinking something, that our thinking is known as a psychology, how individual behave in response to a stimulus. Like when someone scolds us, so how we behave. So it is in psychology because we are responding to a stimulus. Next, sociology. What is sociology? How individuals relate to groups and to each other. So third is social psychology. That means how individuals and organizations perceive conflict, threats, and undergo stress. Like when we are working in an organization, sometimes we have a very burden on us that we have to complete our task on time. We have some targeted areas. So there might be, and we are taking the stress, and sometimes it may be a conflict in a group. So how we are dealing with that threats and how we are dealing with the conflicts. Then it is an anthropology, that is understanding customs, tradition and social modes of people, since the organization is a macrocosm of the larger society. Now in India we have a diversity. So all kind of people are work in an organization. There is no discrimination and there is no restriction on the people that who can work in an organization and who cannot. Second is political, that is political science, that is understanding power, authority and corporate politics. Next is economics, that is appreciating in the monetary terms and non-monetary incentives, and medical care also. Nowadays in an organization, the management is providing us medical insurance and many other compensations, incentives, which encourage the people to work more and work happily, and in that case they can easily achieve the goals and objectives of the organization. Next, challenges. What are the challenges they face? Globalization to respond, managing diversity, improving quality and productivity, improving customer service, and it improving the people's skills, stimulating innovation and change in coping with temporariness. Working in network organization, it helping the employees balance work-life conflict and creating a positive work environment, improving the ethical behavior. So when we have a positive vibe and when we are working in a positive vibe, so it affects our behavior also, and it also improve our ethical behavior because we are working in a positive surrounding. Next is the scope. So what is the scope of an organizational behavior? It is like impact of personality or performance. It impacts our personality. And next is employee motivation, leadership. As we are getting the promotions, we are getting incentives, so we get encouragement from our leaders. And how to create effective terms and group study of different organizational structures and study of different organizational structures of individual behavior, attitude and learning perception design, and development of effective organization, job design, impact of cultural or organizational behavior, and management of change and stress, organizational development and organizational culture. So transactional analysis are also going to create our group behavior, power and politics, job design, study of emotions. So all this we create a very nice personality when we are learning all these attributes. Thank you so much. I hope you would like my session. Thank you.